In Kenya now, if you ask anyone to name just one footballer, there are big chances you hear the name Ryan, Wesley, Ogam. But his rise wasn't easy. It's a story of setbacks, of disappointment, of transformation, a story of never giving up until success came. Football has always been in the blood of Ryan. His father was a professional footballer, so from the time he could walk, the game was part of his life. He began playing football as a defender, but very early in his career, coaches identified something unique about him. He had the vision, precision, and ability to ping a pass 50 meters away with surgical accuracy. So he was pushed up into midfield, and that's where his natural instincts made him to stand out. He had some stints playing for Kenya's youth national teams, but his talent ultimately took him abroad to the UAE, where he learned the trait of being a professional and the challenges accustomed with it. The dream was always to play football at the highest level. But when his further transfers to Sweden and even to the USA all fell through, and the footballing career getting more difficult as a teenager away from his country, he had no choice than to pack his bags and return back home. Back home, he signed for Tusker FC in the Kenya Premier League, and that was where the turning point arose. When circumstances changed with his club Tusker FC, the coach pushed him a bit more further to play as a striker, and suddenly everything clicked. The once defender turned to a midfielder was now a lethal goal scorer. Every ball at his feet seemed to end up in the back of the net. From hat-tricks to braces, the goals were flowing like the river of Jordan. He was simply unstoppable. By the halfway mark in the season, Ryan had scored 15 goals and was the top scorer of the Kenya Premier League. But just when his dreams were about to explode, tragedy struck. A serious injury which will keep him out for almost half the entire season. The season he had started as a star was now just slipping away. By the time he returned back to the pitch 4 months later, he could only play 45 minutes on the final match day. But still, his talent was undeniable, and then they called up for Kenya for the 2024 CHAN tournament. His return was, however, rough, starting a game for the first time in 4 months against DR Congo, and ended up without scoring a goal. For Kenya's second game against Angola, he started from the bench and only came on when the team was down to 10 men, so he couldn't really show his attacking instincts. But Ryan wasn't done yet. In the third match against Morocco, he started and scored a stunning goal which sealed a 1-0 win for Kenya. In the fourth game, he started again, scoring the only goal for Kenya against Zambia as they finished top of the group and qualified to the next stage. At this point, Ryan was the hero and shining star of the Kenya national team. Even in the fifth game of the CHAN, that's the quarterfinals, he scored again, only to see his goal ruled out and Kenya eventually getting eliminated. But his legacy was already sealed. He went on to get his international debut with Kenya, scoring an outside foot flip goal few minutes into his debut. And Ryan Wesley Ogam had become one of the most talked about names in Kenya. From a defender to a midfielder to a striker, from failed transfers to crashing injuries, and now a national hero. Ryan Wesley Ogam's story is a reminder that setbacks are not really the end, they are just a pathway to achieving greatness.